The road looked harmless from the outside, almost peaceful, with tall trees on both sides and a soft evening sky stretching far across the horizon. But Maya did not notice any of that. She trusted the blue line on her GPS more than the world around her. She had been driving for nearly 4 hours, trying to reach a town she had never visited before. Her friend Sana was getting married there, and Maya promised she would not miss the event no matter what. She felt proud of her determination. She had planned the route, typed the address twice into her phone, and even downloaded offline maps to be safe. She believed everything was under control. The voice from the GPS kept guiding her with calm confidence. "In 5 kilometers, turn left," it said. The instructions were so smooth, so sure, that Maya did not question them. She trusted her little device the same way people trust a friend who never lies. And for most of the drive, the GPS seemed right. It took her through highways, then small towns, then open fields. She barely looked at road signs. She did not need to. That soft electronic voice was enough. But the daylight was fading faster than she expected. By the time she reached the rural area, the sky had turned orange, then pink, then slowly began to darken. The road became narrow, bending like a thin ribbon between the fields. With every mile, the number of cars around her decreased. Soon she was the only one on the road. Maya felt a small tug of uneasiness, but she brushed it aside. "It's okay," she whispered to herself. "The GPS knows the way." She turned up the volume just slightly so she wouldn't miss the next instruction. Then came the first sign of trouble. Her phone blinked. The battery was low. Maya frowned. She had forgotten to bring her car charger. The GPS voice continued speaking, but now she felt pressure building inside her chest. She lowered the screen brightness to save power and hoped it would last long enough to reach the town. The sun had almost disappeared now, leaving only a soft glow on the horizon. The GPS told her to turn left onto a smaller road. Maya slowed down and followed the direction. The new road was no more than a single narrow lane, with cracked asphalt and weeds growing at the edges. It looked more like an unused path than a proper road, but the device insisted this was the fastest route. She hesitated, looking around for any sign of life, but there were no houses, no people, not even a passing car. She could not see far ahead because the trees leaned over the road, their branches forming a kind of tunnel. It should be fine, she told herself again. GPS wouldn't lead me somewhere dangerous. She kept driving. But as she went deeper into the wooded area, her phone battery dropped even faster. 10%, then 9, then 8. The GPS voice repeated, "Continue straight." Straight into where? She had no idea. There were no road signs, no lights, nothing except tall shadows and a narrow path ahead. The deeper she drove, the louder the silence became. Even her engine sounded out of place. Maya began to grip the steering wheel tighter, feeling her heartbeat quicken. Her phone battery hit 5%. She imagined what would happen if the phone died. She had no idea where she was. The road looked unfamiliar, and she didn't know how to get back to the main highway. She had taken too many turns. Everything around her seemed the same. Then the GPS announced, "Turn right." Maya slowed down. She looked to her right. There was a path there, but it didn't look like a real road at all. It was a dirt trail, with grass in the middle and uneven tire marks. It didn't even look safe for her car. Her instinct whispered, "Don't take it." But the GPS screen glowed softly, the arrow blinking, telling her to turn. She hesitated for a long moment. The car idled. Her heart pounded. She thought about Sana's wedding. She thought about being late, about disappointing her best friend. She told herself that GPSs were designed to find shortcuts, that maybe this was a temporary detour. With a deep breath, Maya turned onto the dirt road. Her tires bumped and shook as she drove forward. The path was narrow, and branches brushed against the sides of her car. She kept going, trying to stay calm, telling herself that the GPS knew something she didn't. But then suddenly, her phone screen dimmed. 2%. Maya swallowed hard. Her fingers trembled slightly. She leaned forward, as if moving closer to the screen would keep it alive longer. The GPS said, "In 800 meters, continue straight." But as she drove, the road became even worse. The dirt turned to loose gravel. The gravel turned muddy. Then, after a few more meters, the road split into two. One path led left, the other right. The GPS stayed silent. Maya tapped the screen quickly, hoping it would help it load. The screen froze for a moment. Her heart raced. Then the phone turned black. "No!" She cried out, grabbing it and pressing the side button. But there was nothing. The battery was dead. She sat in the car, the engine still running, her breathing unsteady. She stared at the two paths, both dark, both unmarked. She didn't know which one the GPS would have chosen. She didn't know where either one led. Her confidence, which had been steady all day, broke apart in an instant. She felt alone, completely alone. Maya considered turning back, but she wasn't sure she could find her way out. The road behind her had been full of twists and small turns, and the sky was now pitch black. The thought of reversing or navigating back through that dark forest made her even more afraid. She took a slow breath, trying to calm herself. "Okay," she whispered. "Think. Don't panic." She looked at the two paths again. The right one looked slightly wider. The left one seemed rougher. She told herself that a wider path must lead somewhere safer, so she chose right. For the first few minutes, nothing unusual happened. The road was rough but manageable. She rolled down her window slightly to get some fresh air and help herself stay alert. The night breeze felt cold on her face, but it grounded her. But after another few minutes, she noticed something odd. The road started sloping downward, not gently steeply. Her headlights revealed the dirt dropping at a sharper angle. Her car tilted forward slightly. Maya pressed the brakes to slow down. The road was too narrow to turn around, too uneven to reverse safely. She felt trapped. Her palms grew sweaty on the steering wheel. She moved slowly, letting the car creep forward. The road got even steeper. Rocks shifted under her tires. She tried to stay calm, but her heartbeat was too loud in her ears. Then, as she rounded a curve, her headlights revealed a sudden drop ahead, not a cliff, but something close enough. A steep downhill slope with loose gravel and no guardrails. One wrong move, and her car could slide uncontrollably. Her breath caught in her throat. She slammed the brakes. The car stopped, but barely. The tires skidded for a moment before gripping the ground. She stared at the dangerous slope, her body trembling. She knew she could not go forward. There was no safe way. She looked in the rearview mirror. Darkness, trees, silence. The fear inside her was heavy, pressing down on her chest. She knew she had made a mistake. She had trusted her GPS more than her own eyes, more than her instincts, more than common sense. Her throat tightened. Tears formed in the corners of her eyes. "I just wanted to get there. I just wanted to be on time," she whispered, her voice breaking. She turned off the engine and sat in the quiet car. Her hands trembled uncontrollably now. She tried to call someone, but her phone wouldn't turn on. There was no light besides her headlights fading slowly. Maya felt small, helpless. She realized how dangerous the situation was. She didn't have proper food, no working phone, no idea where she was. Panic pushed against her chest again, but she forced herself to take slow breaths. Minutes passed, then an hour. She stayed inside her car, afraid to step outside into the dark woods. At one point, she heard a distant noise, a faint rumble. Her heart jumped. She turned off the headlights so the battery wouldn't die and listened carefully. The sound grew louder. It wasn't an animal. It wasn't wind. It was an engine. She quickly turned her headlights back on and flashed them twice, hoping whoever was coming would see her. Soon, a pair of bright lights appeared from behind. A jeep, an old but sturdy one. It moved carefully down the narrow road and stopped a short distance behind her. A man stepped out. He looked like someone from the area, dressed in simple clothes, carrying a flashlight. He kept a respectful distance and raised a hand to show he meant no harm. "Are you okay?" he asked loudly so she could hear him through her window. Maya nodded shakily and opened the door slightly. I got lost. My GPS, it led me here." And then it died. The man sighed softly, as if he had seen this happen many times. "This road isn't for cars like yours," he said. "Locals use it sometimes, but it's dangerous, especially at night." Maya felt a sting of embarrassment and fear all over again. "You're lucky you stopped where you did," he added gently. "Just a bit more, and your car would have slipped." Her breath shook as she exhaled. The man guided her slowly, helping her reverse safely with his flashlight and instructions. It took nearly 20 minutes of careful maneuvering, but finally they reached the main dirt road again. He then led her back all the way to the paved road, driving ahead in his jeep so she could follow safely. When they finally reached a place where Maya recognized a normal road, she felt tears rolling down her cheeks again, this time from relief. The man pulled over and stepped out. "The town you're looking for is another 20 kilometers that way," he said, pointing. "Stick to the main road. Ignore the shortcuts your GPS gives. At night, they can be dangerous." Maya nodded, wiping her eyes. Thank you so much," he smiled softly. "Just be careful. Machines help, but they don't always know what's safe." She thanked him again, deeply, sincerely, and watched as he drove away. Maya continued the rest of the trip using only road signs and her own judgment. She arrived late, exhausted, shaken, but safe. When she hugged her friend Sana at the wedding the next morning, she held on a little tighter than usual. And she told herself she would never blindly trust her GPS again. Because sometimes the quickest route is not the safest. And sometimes the safest path is the one your instincts whisper to you, not the one a screen commands. She learned, in the dark silence of that dangerous road, that technology is helpful, but human judgment is priceless. Moral: trust technology, but don't depend on it blindly. Your own awareness and instincts can save you when a machine cannot.